Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dawn. Today we are continuing forward with these purple journals for my purple floral journal collection. I have finished binding and everything pretty much is finished for all of these journals. They've been folded, they've been pressed under something heavy, and that's kind of it for them. So these are pretty much done. The only thing is I need to go through, and some of these, it's hard to tell if they do. Some of these have pocket pages in them, as in pages that have been folded over and just need to be glued down. And we'll see when we get there. So we're just going to go through these, each journal. I also have these. I made half of them in one of my previous videos, but these are book page belly bands. I'm using them as belly bands, but if you go back and watch my video, it's a tutorial on how to make these, and that one is upside down. And I talk about different ways that you could use them if you didn't want to use them as a belly band. So I do have a tutorial on that. It is just a couple of videos back on my channel. So what I'm going to do is kind of spread these out so that I can sort of see them all. And they may not necessarily be on camera, but that's not really the goal. I'll show you when I pick one. And then we're going to grab this stack of journals, and we're just going to go through one by one. We're going to look for any pocket pages that, and it's just going to be quick because this is not the flip through. Like, this is sewn, so this is all set. But then I'm going to quickly go through and look for any pages that might need to be attached or might need something a little extra added. So I have white here, and then a very like plain paper here. So I'm thinking for this one, I usually use refillable ones, but I found a bunch of these. They're non-refillable ones, which isn't the best, but I got a bunch of them at a discount store. So I'm going to use it. I mean, they might be refillable, but they're a discontinued brand. I wasn't able to find the refills. That's the thing. So what I'm going to do is I have this page, and then I'm going to choose one of my belly bands, and I'm just going to run my tape runner along the top and the bottom of the back of it. And if I get any, that's why I like the tape runner for this, because I got a little extra on my page and I can just rub that off. And then I'm going to put this right in the center of my page, and I'm going to grab my bone folder, and I'm just going to make sure that's nice and adhered down. And now we have a little tuck spot, grab something, little tuck spot belly band here. So we're going to do this for all my journals. This is an opened up envelope. It could be glued down in any kind of way, or it could be used as is. So I'm going to leave that on purpose, and then that pocket is sewed down. So these larger journals shouldn't need a lot. And we're just going to pile them all off to the side. This is, so the best way for me to tell if it's upside down is by finding the pocket pages, because a lot of other stuff is like sideways. I think I'm going to put it here, and I think I'm going to use, what's this one look like? This has pink. I don't like that. It's too busy. I'm going to use this one, and I'm just adding a little extra to each journal. And that will be it. That will be the finished journal, except for I will go back and add my signature to every journal. And typically I will sign the journal. If I can sign the cover, I'll often sign the cover here. But this, I don't feel like I could sign without it bleeding, so I'll usually go to the last page in the back and sign right here. If this, which it never is for my journals, if this was plain, I could sign here too. But I usually kind of tuck it in the back of the journal. So that's that belly band. And we're just going to go through. Now, this journal is mine. I'm keeping this one. I made it for myself. March is my birthday month. So this one's mine, but I still want to put the belly band in it. And I'm just going to kind of decide where I want that. And then I'm going to pick one that I like. And I think I like one of the busier ones, actually. I think looks good. So all I'm doing today is going through, and that didn't go all the way to the edge, and finalizing my 2 smaller parts of my journal collection. And by that I just mean they're the smaller journals, the 9x6 journals and the 8x4 journals. And that is this part of the collection. And then I'll be working on 4 more, I think it's 4. I keep forgetting how many I have. I will be working on 4 more fully embellished hardcover journals. And that is upside down. I wondered if it was upside down. See, that's why I always check before I glue anything down. I am going to be doing a lot of those journals on camera if I can. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead in my video filming because spring break is coming up and I have kids and those kids are not at school during spring break, so I cannot be filming with a 5-year-old running around because that's just not a productive choice. So I will be drop my bone folder, got it back. Okay, I will be trying to film ahead a little bit. So I'm trying to, hopefully for me, finish up this whole journal collection in the next week so that it is ready to launch at the beginning of April, because that's the goal. I am working on it in March, releasing it in April, and I hope to be continuing to do that like once a month, releasing in like working on it in a month and then releasing it the next month. At the same time that around the same time that the journal packs for my Patreon will go out. And the reason for that is if somebody wanted to grab a themed journal to go with the journal packs, which have the same theme, that way you could get it all together at the same time. Because I will, if you're a patron, I will ship it all at the same time. Hopefully. If if it's purchased during the release, I can get it out at the same time as the packs. So I'm working on the packs for this month. I'm very excited about them because I'm just kind of filling them with things that I love and things that make me happy, with a nice like soft purple theme, and I've been loving working on those. I'm also doing too many things at a time, and I've been trying to work on a like spring cleaning collection where there's not any theme necessarily in the pack, but it's like a lot of stuff that I'm just spring cleaning. So things that I saved that I was like, oh, I'll use this for a journal at some point, and I just never got to that point. And it's a lot of scraps because I make so many journals at a time, sometimes for my craft shows. I make a lot of journals for those that I don't really film because I'll just kind of have to sit down a weekend and just make a bunch of stuff for my shows. I like that. That's really cute. So I'm doing a spring cleaning sort of collection, and I will be, that's funny. I will be releasing bundles of ephemera, and I will be putting stuff in my shop on sale. I'm not sure exactly when that will happen, but I will talk about it a little bit more, I think, as we get as I get closer to deciding when. But it will be separate from, it'll be separate from the April release. That I can tell you, because I don't think I can do that much at the same time. So yeah, I have some stuff getting ready to go up in my shop. I'm getting these ready for the release. I have these journals. I have some ephemera packs. I have some spring cleaning stuff coming up. So April's going to be a busy month, I think. So for these, I need to flip through them a little bit more carefully, because some of them have pages where the sides are folded, and it'll make sense when we get there, but some of them have pages where one side is folded over to create a pocket. I don't know why I unfurled all these, because now I can't see any of them, but that was my choice. That was the choice I made. Anyway, when we get there, you'll see that there are some that need to be attached down as pockets. I thought for a second that we were already out of tape, but it's stuck. There we go. I officially got accepted to my first art show in the summer. It's kind of funny because the way that works is some of them, this one's this one's in July, and I have stuff in June that I haven't even heard back from. And it's just kind of funny how inconsistent it is with how soon you hear back from art shows about whether or not you got into the art show. So I have been accepted into one. Everything else is still pending at this point. Here's our center page, like that. I'm going to check for a pocket, because if there's a folded pocket, here we go, here's one. So this is the page, and it's folded. And I'm going to open this, and then I'm going to go along the edge here, and along the edge here, and get that folded over and adhered. So now we have a pocket here. And then, because that's where the pocket is, I want to put this pocket over on this side of the journal, just because if we have a pocket on the back half of the journal, I like to then put the pocket on the front half. I like to make sure things are spread out, because that makes me feel like things are more balanced. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of these glue runners, because I don't know if I'm just inept or if they're really hard to use, but I find that they get all sticky on me a lot. So I love these papers that I used for the center. I'm going to skim through and see if there's a pocket, and there is not. So now I just kind of have to pick a page to put this on. And I'm going to grab this one. And then I think I'll have a few of these left for my... The good thing about the tape runners, though, is you can get it off if you get a little bit overage. You can get it off if you haven't, like, mushed it in yet. It doesn't rip the page as long as you haven't, like, really gotten it in there. I should probably be using like a throwaway piece of paper to do this in case I go over, but I didn't plan that far ahead. Okay. So I have a few of these left to put in my bigger journals, and if I don't have as many as I want for there, I can always make more because they're not difficult to make. I think I made 20 or 21, I'm not sure. So yeah, we have a pocket in this one. So we will pull that out and run that down there. Run that down there. Okay. And then flip to the other half of the journal, try to make sure it's right side up, and pick a page on this side that we can put a little pocket on, or I guess a belly band. There we go. And if you are interested in any of these journals that you're seeing here, I would recommend joining at least the free tier of my Patreon, because I will announce there first when these are released for sale. So I will have a video with a flip through of all these, and my Patreon will get early access to that video, and an announcement will be made on Patreon ahead of time, whereas by the time I put it on YouTube, it will already be in my shop. So if you want to know ahead of time, if you want some warnings so you can make sure you grab something before it sells out, because I only have obviously one of everything, jump over to my Patreon and join. You can join the free tier, so this is not like pressuring you into spending money, but that's where I can easily make announcements and get stuff out there. I like that. It looks really good. And so if you want announcements and you want notifications about when things are going to be available, that's where you can find that info. And that's the easiest place for me to put that info. Otherwise, I will have the day that these are all released on my Etsy, I will have a YouTube video with a flip through of all these, so you can see the details of everything and decide if you want it or which one you want. If you know you want one but you aren't sure, that will all be coming. Okay, there is no pockets built into this one, so I am going to, so it doesn't matter what side I put this pocket on. As you can see, these are all different. They're a little bit scrappy. I love this size though. It's a really great size to kind of take with you and travel with. I call it my travel journal size. It fits really nicely in a purse. You can see it's not too big and it's not too small, I think. And because it's an 8x8 paper, you might have to trim it down slightly, but this is 4 inches across, so you could fit a 4x6 or, you know, a slightly altered 4x6 photo. So you could use this size for your pictures if you were traveling and you have pictures. That, I believe, is upside down. All right, we do not have a pocket here, so we will pick a place to put this down. We'll do it right here. We'll grab this one. So I've been having fun making these. I'd like to make this a monthly thing where I make a ephemera pack or a collage pack for my Patreon and a coordinating journal collection release. I don't know if it'll be this many journals every time or what, but sometimes it may just be a couple. But I think I'd like to keep doing this because I'm having a lot of fun. It's kind of always been the goal is to get here, and I'm here, so I want to kind of keep the momentum going. I like that, and this. Alright, sticky. Went off the edge of that book page a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, so there's that. That's the last one. We got all 8 of our journals, have their pockets all ready to go. I have been sort of trying to, I used like these in the thumbnail because they're more matte and these reflect so much, but I love them. But as you can see, they're very shiny. And all the patterns that I have for the smaller travel journals, I also have for the 9x6 journals. So I have a few of these left to pop into my bigger journals, which I'm actually going to grab and show as a sneak peek for in the next couple of videos what we'll be doing. So they are just hanging out here. One more. And as you can see, maybe, hopefully, I have sewn the lace on, and so I have these covers. We did work on these covers together in a much earlier video, but now I've added lace and sewing details to these pages. And we have 4 different large journals with different kinds of covers. Yeah, and different stuff going on. So these are the bigger journals that I've been talking about, and we will be working on these next videos, and I might just do like one journal at a time in the next couple of videos, or I guess the next 4 videos or so. But that's that for today's video. We're progressing along. I'm gonna try to get ahead on some filming for spring break, and I appreciate you all joining me on this adventure, and I would love to hear which of these wallpaper patterns is your favorite, because I'm partial to this one and this one, but I'd love to hear which ones are your favorite. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye everyone.